I mean, I'll watch that. But for right now, let's watch this. See what this is about. Shall we?
Group, everybody knows that. They've been aligned. You stand against them, then they sometimes have a problem.
Around 2015, Diddy was strengthening his ties with Warner Music Group, the same label group Prince had been battling for decades. This wasn't just business beef. Warner had once owned the rights to every piece of music Prince ever made. For years, they refused to give him control over his own name, image, and catalog. It was the reason he started writing Slave on his face and stopped using his birth name altogether. So when Prince saw Diddy making quiet business deals with the very machine he spent half his life trying to escape, it wasn't just disappointing, it was threatening. According to insiders, Prince believed that Diddy was helping to build a new version of the same machine, one that didn't just control music, but controlled people with more money.
Was this the streaming situation? Because when Diddy got into the rap game, streaming didn't exist. Not music streaming.
More blackmail and less accountability.
There's a disintegration going on that we really have to address.
That's where Cat Williams enters the picture. In several interviews, Cat said that Prince warned him personally about both Diddy and Jay-Z. According to Cat, Prince had something big on them. And he wasn't just talking about legal leverage or petty rivalries. He was talking about evidence, footage, names, events, things that, if they ever got out, would destroy careers and reputations overnight. Cat never claimed to have seen the materials, but he spoke about it with a level of seriousness that didn't feel like entertainment. He described Prince as someone who knew too much and had stopped trusting anyone near the end. Cat even claimed that Prince used to record his own events, not for fun, but for protection. He wanted a record of who attended his parties, who was in the room, and who tried to pressure his guests into anything. The theory goes deeper. Some believe that Prince had uncovered a network, one where artists were being lured to private industry events, then filmed and blackmailed into silence or submission. The idea wasn't new.
This is what I like to call parasocial relationships have gone out of damn control, because ain't no damn way. Now, as y'all have probably heard, Meg Thee Stallion is back under heat after essentially new evidence has been presented about the case between her and Tory Lanez. It turns out, allegedly, according to the bodyguard who was there on scene, that it was not Tory Lanez who actually pulled the trigger, but instead it was her own best friend.
I just gotta say this right quick. Tory Lanez has a new album coming out. Very strange timing. The Diddy trial, Megan, the whole thing with DDG and the Little Mermaid girl, him being real big, Illuminati coming back out, and now Tory Lanez just very.
Now the most recent news on Tory's side is that he was unfortunately, quote unquote, caught slipping as the man was stabbed 14 times. I can't put it any other way. Found himself in critical condition, and somehow he's pulled through, and I guess he is recovering well. However, doesn't stop there. There has now been a GoFundMe or a Give Send Go account that has been created for none other than the very man who attempted to take Tory Lanez's life.
Now, is any of this even true? Is this just clever marketing to market this album that Tory Lanez has coming out? Was Tory Lanez even locked up all this time? We do remember that, what's his name? Dave Chappelle has a famous comedy bit where he says, well, people say that Wesley Snipes was in jail for not paying his taxes. I just saw him at a party. We all laughed, ha 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 ha, Dave Chappelle. But was he joking? I don't know. This is a conspiracy channel, right? Creepy TikTok. This is some creepy weird stuff that's been going on lately. And why right now? With all of these storms and none of us can sleep at 3 a.m. and 5G. Some countries got 10G right now, I hear. People have said that's bad. I don't even know, my guy. You think this is a do-rag? I got tinfoil under this thing, man.
If you had to make an assumption as to who is funding this Give Send Go, all I have to say is you do not have to be a genius. I'm not saying her, but her people. her supposed fans.
Her fans, and she signed to who? Roc Nation. Who owns Roc Nation? Jigga. Who is Jigga's best friend? I'm a little bit older than some of you guys watching this, so I remember when Jigga and Jay-Z, P. Diddy and Jay-Z was like thick as thieves, as the saying goes. So, is Jay-Z running interference for his boy, P. Diddy? I mean, remember the whole case? The person came out and said P. Diddy did it, but Jay-Z was also there. Then Jay-Z's case mysteriously went away. Did it mysteriously go away? Or are we in an alternate dimension where Jay-Z was never even accused of nothing? I don't know.
All 15 of them. Yeah. This is sick.
The reason why I say Megan Thee Stallion career could be over because she not really bringing in. This nigga say we're watching. Yo, my nigga donated. His name is Roc Nation. He said we're watching. I ain't saying shit everybody else ain't already said. Nigga, we know what y'all on. He said we're watching. You watching? Watch that, nigga.
Yo, low-key, streamers are the new rappers. Streamers are the new stars. YouTube is the new Hollywood. In this dimension that CERN has pushed us all into, YouTube is Hollywood. Bro. Maybe not, right? It's probably not that, right? I'm just an old dude, right? I don't understand how the world is going on because I'm old, right? Right. You right. You're right.
They got her. They got her. I bet you guys won't guess who this is. Actually, I bet you will guess that it's Kim, like I did, but it's not. It's Kim's almost 70-year-old mother, Kris Jenner. Something's going on here. This picture is from 2020. Today? How? I want to know how. Let's look at some side-by-side so you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing here. I'm kind of getting death becomes her vibes. Because how in 5 years did you age almost a decade backwards? Kris Jenner in 2022. It's like every year she's getting younger.
That's a very good surgeon. I mean, really, they helped me to see how Kris is your mom, Kim, because I thought she was adopted. Now I can see. Or maybe Kris went to the same surgeon as Kim and he made them look the same. He got the same template. I don't know. Or like this lady said, this is giving me death becomes her vibes. I think that movie came out in the 90s. Maybe that was a documentary. I don't know. It was just a movie in my original timeline. I don't know when CERN slid me into this weird timeline where movies are real. Oh, snap. What if in our original timeline, these dudes was playing with portals, witchcraft, and tarot cards, and they saw in an alternate dimension people's real lives, and they was like, yo, you know what? Your real life would make a good movie. Let me write a script about that. And you're not really writing a script. They're just taking notes. What they're looking at in the magic mirror on the wall. Wasn't the magic mirror a portal? Yo, I must really be depressed because I don't even be thinking on this level like this. Not really. I really just be like playing around, but now I'm starting to scare myself. Okay.
To me, she literally looks like Kim now. It's just, how is nobody talking about this? First it was Martha Stewart, and now it's Kris Jenner. Is there something in the water? I would really, really like to know their secret to aging backwards. Come on, give me all your excuses in the comments section for how it is humanly possible for these celebrities to be aging backwards. Because honestly, for me, going from this to this is literally insanity.
Post from Vlad TV. For the 7 guys that are still on the run, let's do a Vlad TV interview. You'll eventually get caught anyway, but doing an interview will give you legendary status. I I won't report you after the interview. My First Amendment right as a journalist gives me the right to do so. Vlad, I know you don't care, but you're never beating the culture vulture allegations. You're never beating the feds allegations, and I know you don't care. Just get your content. But this is what people mean by you exploiting black people for money and for content. I understand this has never been done before. No media platform has ever given an interview to a group of people on the run. But
I don't think it's a black thing. I think it's a money thing. Now, these dudes, whether or not they want to do that is a different thing, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea for him to say, come in and tell us your side of the story. I know a lot of people, I don't care what they got to say, lock them up. Now, if these dudes are innocent, and which I don't believe that they are, I don't know, but I mean, unless they're innocent and they didn't do nothing, then it's like, you know, is there some corruption behind this? You know, like various movies that we've seen where the person didn't do nothing, then okay. But if not, these are just some dudes who escaped prison, man. For all I know, these dudes want to get out and choke their baby mothers. I don't really want to hear from these dudes like that.
Let's think about this. These guys are on the run for whatever crimes they did. We do not know. But you're exchanging them legendary internet status for what? A longer jail sentence? Because you're right, they will eventually get caught, whether it's a week from now, whether it's a month from now, or whether somebody gets away for a whole year. And when they get caught, guess what they're going to do? They're going to look at their actions when they got caught or when they were on the run to determine how much to add on to their sentence. So if one of these individuals does a Vlad TV interview, what do you think they're going to play? They're going to replay the Vlad TV interview and everything that you made them discuss or that they willingly gave up in the Vlad TV interview to say, hey, well, instead of tacking on maybe a year because you ran, we're now going to tack on an extra 5 years because the information you gave up in the Vlad TV interview. Also, Vlad could get his content so it could be added onto his legendary status. So he can monetize it 3 different ways by cutting up the clips 40 different times and posting it on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So he can probably make a few $100,000 just off that one interview. But hey, anything for content, right, Vlad? I can't tell these men what to do with their life. Maybe one of them might take Vlad up on their offer. But since you know you're going to get caught, if you are out there, whatever, for a week, a month, do what you can do to spend time with your family since you know you're going back in. If you have family, if you're fortunate to have kids, make some peace with your kids. Because for me, that would be more legendary to spend just a moment with your kids or your family than doing a Vlad TV interview, which is going to put you in jail even longer. Because I'm pretty sure he's not going to put money on your books when you get put back in jail. He's going to say, hey, man, I gave you a Vlad TV interview. I don't owe you anything. So why not hug your mother? Why not spend time with your partner, your girlfriend, your kids, than jumping on the internet for clout? But
well, in all fairness, would they be jumping on the internet for clout? I think Vlad is probably just offering to them. He's bartering. It's the barter system. I can't pay you, but you'll get clout. People will forever know your name. Like Heisenberg. Say my name, I guess. Kind of. Or Beyonce and them. Say my name, say my name. Whenever you're around me and all of those lyrics go. I'm not just going to say Vlad definitely has bad intentions. He may, but I don't know what's in his heart and what's in his head. We just are making assumptions based on his actions. I guess that's why people say actions speak louder than words. I don't know.
Boy.
Do you think they did Diddy wrong? Or
Of course.
You said he did everything that everybody's doing.
Of course. He got a Frico.
But the
You ever heard of a Rico by your damn self?
the 500
It's a Frico.
500 dildos and
I don't give a damn. You're a freak. Well, I don't give a damn. If I want my bitch to watch, if I want my bitch to get another dick while I watch while money going everywhere, call another dick up, go buy something after that. I don't look at it like it's a crime. Freako. You're just freaky. He did what? Met a girl at the studio and they ran a train and he put dick on her and flew out. Is that a crime? Freak. I just was thinking of all the stuff he was charged for. God damn, he freaky. This man, he don't deserve. You don't give him a bond.
Why
Who did he fucking, bro? It's black billionaire, bro. Gonna be hard on him. That's why, because he's a successful black man.
I don't really like the race angle. 100% I understand my international audience. They don't have to like deal with race like how we do in America. And then even all of us in America don't have to deal with it. We're not like constantly thinking about it. So I think the race thing doesn't constantly affect us, which is one of the reasons I believe, it's just my belief, I could be wrong, that certain people, they don't really have run-ins with a lot of racism. Not that racism isn't there, they just don't experience it a whole, like me. I don't experience it. I've experienced it, but it like I haven't experienced racism enough in America to just constantly be harping on it. So that's just honest Adonis talking. So I don't really like they're black billionaires and that's why they're doing it. I'm not saying it isn't true. I'm saying I don't really like that angle. The angle I'm more looking at is you helped us create this new alternative reality where YouTube is the new television, the new Hollywood. Thanks. Now get out of the way.
That's why.
Why nobody?
And they fucking over him.
You said I feel Diddy in jail for basically doing what every other famous
Every
entertainer's
other rapper, you gotta understand, and they building this case on Diddy to get all us on the back end. Cause everybody gonna fly out. How you think we gonna see a bitch? You gotta fly out. Every bitch we fly in, every bitch you fly in, you gonna give her something. $1,000 before she go home. That is sex trafficking.
Right.
He's right. Somebody in the chat just said, Boosie makes sense, bro. Yeah, it always be these weird drunk sounding Negroes. Man, remember the drunk karate master? You think he drunk, but that's when he do his best karate is when he drunk. Wow, that's a good picture for the thumbnail. He looked like a crazy person, but when you hear him talk, you like, that doesn't sound insane like it's supposed to. Oh, okay.
You gotta watch who you fly in. They didn't flip this rule to take all us down, and nobody sees it. You can't be too freaky now.
Right.
They didn't flip this around to take all us down. Cause when Mad Day come, when you flew that bitch out, when she called back and tried to extort you.
Yeah, I want to be transparent with y'all. It's a whole lot of brands switching up on me right now. I want you brands to know, all this shit over with, I'm charging y'all quadruple.
Now, for those of us older folks who might not know, this is DDG. This is one of these young lions that y'all hear me talking about. He's been a streamer for a long time. And my 13-year-old daughter told me about him. My 19-year-old son said, yeah, he's out here doing this thing. He's been streaming, no doubt. These kids just playing video games. And, you know, they're in shape. They're good looking. And, you know, they got a lot of fans and stuff like that. And they have a lot of influence. They got a lot of influence. If these are the young JFKs, if you will, the young MLKs, they could be potentially. They could tell their fans, yo, don't buy this brand if they wanted to. Lot of influence. That's the angle I'm looking at. Not so much the race angle. I'm looking at you have a lot of influence. And if you're going to be in this new Hollywood, we want you to influence your followers to buy what we say buy, to go where we say go. Maybe that's what they do in this new alternate dimension, man. I don't know. It seems like that. It might not be. It might not be. And this dude DDG, it's a lot of new stuff being just thrown at him. Where I heard this dude say the other day, DDG ain't even doing all that stuff. He in the house streaming all the time. When do he even have time to leave his house and go do the stuff that they're saying that he did? I just watched him on like a 24-hour stream. I was like, that, I gotta think about that one. But we gonna try to keep connecting these dots.
Hacks. Quintuple action. Man, who vibe?
Think about this. Was Boss Man Dlow really hiding? Because his name is Dlow. Now, Dlow hasn't said nothing about this, but the other person has. And, I mean, it looks like it's legit. I don't really know when it comes to these screenshots and these text messages because things can be altered. So it's not 100%, but you got a lot of people, they are like, they're super, oh no, he can't be. It's because he really was the up-and-coming rapper kind of holding on. Because I ain't gonna lie, hip-hop been down, rap been down. And Dlow was the one that was kind of holding up. And with him being like this, man, it's a bad day right now for some people. So apparently,
does anybody remember that song from Gorillaz, the Feel Good song? De La Soul is featured on that song, and one of the lyrics that they say is, "We're gonna ghost town this Motown with yo sound." When I heard that years ago, I always thought that was a weird line. It's a very good song, good rap, all of that stuff. But I was just listening to it the other day, and it kind of connects with this. We're going to ghost town this Motown. When Motown came out, there was nothing like that in music. With yo sound, when rap came out, there was nothing like rap in music. There was nothing like that. So are the powers that be trying to ghost town this new Motown, which is rap, with yo sound, which is rap? We're going to use rappers to destabilize rap. And if we destabilize rap, we can destabilize the public. And then we can restabilize the economy the way we want to restabilize it. Is that possible? Is it impossible? Shout out to Tanner by the Sea for the $5 super chat, and to Blunt Dog 513. He don't never like me to say his name. Yo, don't come on, man. This is not about, I want some clout. I know, brother. I'm just trying to, I appreciate it. Anyway, it's probably not what I'm saying, right? Because it's not conspiracies. It's for entertainment, YouTube. We don't know, YouTube. We just joshing. We're joshing around, YouTube.
Boss Man Dlow is being truthful to his name, and he got exposed by this man who was, I guess they had a relationship, and now this person is exposing him. I guess he didn't pay or something, which is even wilder to me, but I guess he didn't pay for something, and now he's getting exposed, and some people can't believe it, but he did name himself Dlow. Like, what else does Dlow stand for? Like, man, bro's career is cooked.
Dude is a demon, bro. Dude is a demon.
Before we go forward, let's just connect the D-Low to down low, R. Kelly, down low, to the basketball part. D-Low, that guy, his name was made popular. Why? And this Boss Man D-Low person, and now you trying to tell us he was really a transformer? Or what? But he's acting like he's tough and he's a rapper? I don't know.
That dude was possessed with some kind of demon, man. He was possessed with some kind of demon. Want to be in all this red, this dark rooms with the music blasting. It had to be a certain temperature. A certain type of music for the vibration they were saying.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it. The vibration. I think everything is vibration. I think we know this now, being in this genre that we're in, right? Music is vibration, frequencies. We know that now, right? What better way to restructure people and restructure society through music? It's kind of like an earwig. It's very stealthy. It's quiet. We got a lot of earwigs here in Oklahoma. You don't even hear them crawling. You only see them because like your walls are one color and they're like, look, they look like long roaches. And you're like, is this nigga on my wall? You got to get your raid and spray them. It just creeps up on you. Could that be what they're doing? Probably not. That's probably not what's going on, right? I'm old. It's dementia. It's coming on. I ate a lot of sugar when I was younger. It's probably dementia. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to.
Come on, bro. And I don't care what nobody say, man. And like, when people still talk and keep on talking, if that priest ever come out and he talking, if people keep talking, you'll find out that a lot of shit that Gene Deal has said has been the truth and nothing but the truth. I was there. I was there when that priest or whoever he was rubbed that stuff on his head, put his hand on top of him, told him to grab the bird out the cage, the white dove, and he threw the dove in the air, and the dove acted like he ain't had no wings and hit the fucking ground. Boom! That motherfucker started walking my way. I'm looking like this, bro. I'm like,
Brian.
My question is, when did you leave? Cassie, why didn't you leave? When did you leave? Now, I'm not victim shaming. I 100% understand that manipulators, and I'm actually doing a video. I'm putting a video together, a deep dive on this whole case. I just had to give y'all something right fast because you got to feed the streets. But when did you leave, Gene Deal? I know Cassie, me personally, I say part of that stuff Cassie liked. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying she liked getting whooped on. I'm saying she liked the freako part. She liked that. There's nothing wrong with that. She's a grown woman. I'm saying I don't think she liked getting whooped on. I don't think she liked that. I think Diddy is just on that. I also think Cassie was about to leave and Diddy love bombed her. Yo, let's go to Paris. I'm sorry, my bad. I mean, dudes with no money do that with their girls. I believe that happened. So I'm absolutely not blaming Cassie. I'm saying, Gene Deal, you're a man. Why didn't you leave if you saying you saw all that? How long were you seeing that? How long was you there? How long were you aware of that? Nothing snapped in your head? As soon as you saw that, I gotta leave. That didn't happen? That didn't happen. Did they threaten you that if you leave, something's gonna happen? Because I don't never hear in none of his interviews, they said if I leave, it's gonna be over with. So I'm not saying I don't believe Gene. I'm just saying, what's motivating you to now say this? Why didn't you say that like years ago?
What were fairies in the ancient mythologies?
Demons, bro. They're demons. There were always demons. You can look up the historical context of fairies. They were evil. They were wicked. They're Nephilim offspring, bro. They're angels hybridized with like small creatures and made some kind of weird, deformed little miniature demon thing that was terrorizing people. They kidnapped children. They kidnapped babies.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing about Peter Pan when you actually just think about what this movie's about. It's about this character who's got Pan in his name. Pan, the deity Pan, the goat demon Pan.
Yep.
And so before Peter Pan goes into these children's room when their parents go to bed or parents go out for the night, he sends a little scout first. This little orb. This orb goes into the room to check it out. And Peter Pan is like literally like leering. He's at the roof, like looking, and he looks all sinister. He comes in the room and then he takes the children who are in their pajamas out their house to this place called Never Neverland. They always say you don't grow up in Never Neverland. It's because you don't have a chance to grow up
because
there.
You die.
Yeah, because you're dead. So yeah, Peter Pan is evil. Hook is the good guy in Peter Pan.
We had it wrong. Cassie asked the dude that Diddy hired to pee And yeah, crazy work. So as you guys know, during the Diddy trial,
That's not crazy work. What something my wife says to me a lot, or she has said to me a lot when we was like first dating and stuff like that. You don't choose the kind of sex that you like. It chooses you. If that's true, then, you know, Cassie likes what she likes and she's a grown-up. That's another thing. She's not some 19-year-old woman who allegedly doesn't know right from wrong, what I should be doing. My mind isn't fully capable, but I do know at 19 I should sign up for OnlyFans and let people see my body. I should get money from people for showing my body in any way they pay me for. At 19, a woman knows that she can do that, but that same woman doesn't know whether she should be in a relationship with a man of any age or not. So the kind of sex you like, it picks you. You don't pick it. So I think a lot of us have to move away from like kind of judging Cassie and P. Diddy and whoever actually for the kind of sex that likes them. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like my peoples who say, I'm not addicted to drugs. The drugs are addicted to me. I'm a law-abiding citizen, bro. The drugs just won't leave me alone.
male worker who was, I guess, a part of most of their little Diddy offs had came forward and started giving information. He stated that it was Cassie's idea for him to provide her with the forbidden golden liquid. He also stated that it seemed like everything was consensual until one time when they, you know, linked up. Diddy put hands on Cassie, which is something I realize a lot of you keep forgetting. That's why I had stated that I prayed for the husband. It wasn't because, oh, I'm trying to say, oh, she don't got trauma, she not a victim. It's for the fact that he will sit there and listen to times where she was a willing participant. You guys can argue semantics all you want, but yes, she became a victim when he proceeded to lay hands, force, and all the other crazy stuff. As stated before, there was a time where it wasn't like that. She was a participant, which is why she's also a witness on this case, because as you guys know, it was stated that she probably would have got hit with charges too if she did not testify against him. That is not me trying to take away from her being a victim though, but there are a lot more victims that are supposed to be coming out and a lot more situations that are supposed to be coming out.
Why would Cassie be charged if she didn't testify or snitch, whatever people want to call it? I'm not sure if she's snitching on him. But why would she be charged unless Cassie was bringing girls into him? I'm saying women of age. Was Cassie doing that? We don't know. If Cassie was doing that, is anyone gonna talk about, yo, why are you bringing him women? Because women bring women. Like women will. Cassie's attractive. P. Diddy, he looks like he's a powerful guy. You know what I'm saying? Got his cash. He, you know, fresh. A lot of women would like him. But Cassie just standing next to Puff makes other women feel like I got to go stand next to Puff too. That's what I mean by women bring women. And if you're a woman, for example, Cassie doesn't have a problem with these women being around and even on some level is inviting the women in, like as long as it's consensual, it should be all good. Is the prosecution trying to say it wasn't consensual? You trying to say Cassie was just, you know, putting a... Was Cassie doing that to girls? And putting them in the trunk?
But you guys know how social media is. They're going to take what I just said and spin it. What do you guys think about this whole situation, though? I'll keep y'all updated.
If Meg Thee Stallion does not end up getting the very same sentence that was given to Tory Lanez, there is no justice system.
There isn't justice. And the justice has always been about money. Now, if you had enough money, you should be able to get out of jams, which is one of the reasons I think that P. Diddy is probably going to be able to get out of this jam. Diddy is in the court of public opinion. We're all going to think he's a monster, and he shouldn't be putting his hands on her. You're monstrous for that. But I think the acts, the adult activities is what's really on trial here. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But the problem with a lot of us we felt, you know, well, I don't got a whole bunch of money. And I thought you said justice is blind. It is, but it can feel the money. It can, right? Justice can be like, oh, what? How much you got? Let me see. Let me see. How, oh, man. Oh. Let me see. This don't sound like 100,000. Oh, you got another pile? Oh, okay. Not guilty, judge, not guilty. It just is what it is. We're Americans. We know what it is, right? We don't know what it is? Come on, now, dog.
I don't want a cancellation of Meg Thee Stallion. I don't want her to lose her career. No.
Nah.
I want her to get the exact same treatment that Tory Lanez got. Not just in the last 2 years where he has been incarcerated, wrongfully incarcerated, for something that your own best friend did as a reaction and a response to your own messed up relationship with her. I want you to get the career gone. I want you to get the blackballing from the industry. I want you to get the 10 years plus in that jail cell.
That's a little bit too much for a woman to take. I don't want to sound like a simp, but I mean, come on now, man. You know you don't want this girl to get that. That's too much. Come on, man. You know that. That's not human nature. You know, had she microwaved the baby, then okay, you know you feel like that. You know, you don't really feel like that, bro.
That's what I want. That's fair. That's fair. This man was shanked 14 times. 14 times a couple days ago in his cell. Meg, how do you make up for that? A man who's not supposed to be there. You go on public television, you lie not just to us, but you lie on your deceased mother, swearing up and down that this man did that to you. Meg, you deserve all that's coming for you. All of it.
I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying to do certain things to women is cruel and unusual punishment. It just is. Is it a double standard? Yes, it is, man. It's a double standard because fire grows with oxygen and water doesn't. It's a double standard, man. It's just what it is. And I know she ain't crying. Look at that face. She don't look like she really sad. She look like she just throwing that on there because she don't want to. Yes, I know. I agree with you when it comes to that. Still, this is why us men get blamed, because you knew better, Tory. You knew better. The woman can always say, I didn't know better, and everybody, come on, man. Tory, you knew better than to mess with her and her friend. You knew better than to mess with her. And you from Canada, you here on a green card visa, bro? You knew better, Tory. You knew. I hate to be harsh like that, man, but as one of your bros, you knew better. It's messed up what happened to you. You knew better, bro. And all these men in the chat, we don't have a lot of money, so we gotta move like we know better. Period. You got a bunch of money and you started moving like you didn't know better. So,
single bit of it. And to Mr. Witness over there, the bodyguard, I hope you never get a real wink of sleep again, because you were just as much a part of this as anybody else. I hope you are twisting and turning at night. This is wild.
Do y'all remember the song Uchi Wally by Nas? Did you know that the girl that sings that song was responsible for many, many J-Lo hits? Her name is Shalene Thomas. One of the ones that we know well is the song All Right.
I hate this song. I told my wife about this song. She said, I never heard that song before. I said, all J-Lo did that the whole song. Oh, yeah. She said, I never heard it. I found it on YouTube, played the song for, because this is like one of the first times I'd even heard 50 Cent. he was on this. Then they ended up taking 50 Cent off, and that was like when I like started really listening to 50 Cent. That's just a side note. I never knew that J-Lo didn't sing anything at all. I mean, I knew the voice didn't sound the same. It was annoying that she just kept saying, "Oh yeah," like in the lyrics didn't even slap. That's why a lot of you people in here is like, I didn't even heard this song. Yeah, it sucked that much. 50 Cent made the song and the sample "Why You Treat Me So Bad" by, who was that, SOS Band? Did SOS Band make "Why You Treat Me So Bad"? Or was it the Culture Club? Somebody. That was like a big hit in the 80s when I was young. But I never knew that this lady sung most of the song and J-Lo just put her name on it. Somebody else's beat, whoever made the beat, the SOS Band, and then 50 Cent. That's what sold this song, and J-Lo having a big butt. And at that time, everybody didn't have big butts. Yes, sex sells. So sue all of us men because we like a good thick booty. Everybody does, okay? Come on. That's what sold J-Lo. Side note, sorry, my dementia's acting up. Let's get back to it.
6 songs.
You saw whack that? Be alright. Man, let's bring this back. Our boy J-Lo, she the one who need to go to jail.
One of the ones that we know well is the song All Right.
All J-Lo said was, "Oh yeah," and "be all." You said 5 words on the song and sitting there in the video smiling and walking, and you know they showed her booty walking across the street. That was all intentional. I'm gonna slap the shit out of somebody, man.
6 songs or probably more.
Wow.
Doubled. I'm talking beginning to end, every phrase on the J-Lo album.
I was dumbfounded because when we think of J-Lo, we always think about Ashanti, Christina Milian, you know, many of her writers, but I did not know about this woman. What do y'all think about this?
Hater of the day goes to whoever trying to take Tory out because you guys are going through some extreme measures. Are you shitting me? Kelsey's bodyguard alleges she pulled the trigger? So not Tory, not Meg, some random shorty security guard got scared, started shooting shit, hit Meg in the leg, and she ain't say nothing till after he got stabbed almost to death? Oh, nah. There's some more to this story. The guy who tried to kill Tory Lanez, this Mephistophelian character. Now, he's already serving life in prison. So what beef could he possibly have with Tory? At 7:20 a.m. So no argument, no nothing. This sounds like a hit where he got paid. Somebody put it on his books, his family books. He said, "I need you to kill this nigga." And guess what? He ain't died. 7 wounds to his back at 7:20 in the morning. He jumped him from behind. Pause. No Diddy. 4 to his torso. 2 to the back of the fucking noggin. And 1 to the left side of his face. He was supposed to die. And he didn't. And then all of a sudden, shit starts to come out. Security guard said she was trying to keep Kelsey safe.
Wait. How many of you heard me earlier when I said Tory Lanez has an album coming out? It may have already come out. Now, before this whole thing with Megan Thee Stallion happened, Tory Lanez, didn't he have like an NFT? Didn't he release an album that sold 1 million copies in like 30 seconds or something like that? Didn't he sell his album for $1? So he just made essentially $1 million. Didn't he do that independently? This is all before the whole thing with Meg happened. Wasn't his label trying to re-sign him? And he said, "Nah, I don't want to sign." Speaking of that, whatever happened to Frank Ocean? Didn't Frank Ocean essentially finesse his way out of his deal? Like he was like streaming his album. Remember when Frank Ocean, I might do a deep dive on that. Frank Ocean had all of these videos where he was like, this nigga was like painting. He was like hanging up pictures or something. It was like an all white room, right? And he wasn't saying nothing. There was like some little like ambient music playing in the back or something like that. Come to find out, that was his album. That was his digital album that he released, and the record label had to let him out of his contract. How many of us knew that? And Frank Ocean, to my knowledge, he hasn't had an album since then. So it's looking like, I'm not saying it is, it could potentially be. Thank you, Tanner by the Sea. I wonder what happened to Frank Ocean. He was very talented. Even when and wasn't he running with Tyler, the Creator, and them? That whole crew of dudes is like really, really talented YNs on the real them dudes are talented. They're not just young. The dudes, they got talent. They're nice. They can act. They can rap. They're writers. They're funny. Quadruple threat. And Frank Ocean was in their crew. And I hear Frank Ocean got them hands. Right? How does this connect to Tory Lanez? Because I think the industry was upset that Frank Ocean finessed them, basically gave them, you know, they signed you to a contract. You got to make 7, 8, whatever albums you sign on your contract before we let you out of your contract and you can go independent. Frank Ocean was able to do that and finesse the label by making all of this weird content that we was like, what is this? What is it? What is this weird video? That was the dude's album. That was genius. They don't never like to get finessed and played like that. And he did it illegally, but just smarter than anybody else that did it. Never heard from him again. Tory Lanez, he does all this, basically goes platinum, sells 1 million albums independently for selling his album for $1. I think it was 10 songs for $1. Bro, of course, you already have, like, you built all of this hype with your major label, with your songs, with your hooks, with your collabs, and then you turn around and sell 10 songs for $1. Right after that, all of this stuff on the screen is happening. He did this to this girl. He gets locked up. He gets 10 years. Why didn't you just deport him? The guy's from Canada. And then this, now they got all this time to to poke him up like that. Tory Lanez has an album, I think, coming out this week. Maybe it already came out. It's just a head scratcher. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just not well versed in YN music. But YN, don't you want me to buy your music? What if I'm a fan of you? You want me to be a fan of you, right? So I don't want one of my favorite singers to get killed in prison.
Who is this nigga? And believe me, I looked up Kelsey Harris. She's not very fucking important. I don't know why she try to keep her safe. Security guard, you the one that fired off. We should be trying to keep innocent people out of fucking jail and then almost getting murdered by stabs. Really think about this. He ain't have no beef, no fights, no nothing until right as all this shit was about to come out. He got on Aiden Ross' little stream. He said, nah, bro, you should see the DNA on the gun has me at 0%. I didn't even touch that motherfucker. And they got me in prison saying I shot at her because the judge said, well, that doesn't really matter. Who the fuck are the judges in our judicial system right now? What you mean the DNA on the gun don't matter? Well, he fired this bitch off with witchcraft? Guardian Leviosa? Fuck! Nah, that's not how that shit works. This ain't no fucking movie. This is by far the most important part, though. Why would he do this? What would be the point? And at 7:20 in the morning, that means he went to bed, he laid out his shank, getting ready to stab this nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Woke up like, oh yeah, it's time for that. And he knew where bro was at. This was a setup. Now, who is setting this shit up? Some say Rock Nation. Some say other people. I don't know. If they doing all this, I want them coming at my door, because clearly they're going for death. Margin of error, you guessed it. But
I don't want to be religious, fellas, because it's not about that. But there is a line somewhere that I've heard. I don't know exactly what it about some weapon formed against me. Somebody leave it in the chat right now. That a weapon formed against me can't do something. What I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know exactly what it is. But if you know what I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about when I say what I'm about to say. It don't matter how many times you poked him. If it wasn't his time to go, whatever weapon you formed against him, it ain't gonna work. It's, you know, you tried, but
Tory, special black breed, he survived this shit. I don't know how. Me stabbed 14 times, I be looking up a guy like, take me to the upper room. Especially, I know I ain't do it. But he's like, nah, I got more shit to release. I got hits to release. And motherfuckers need to know the truth. I ain't shoot Meg for nothing.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah, what is that, 54? Yeah, 54:17. I mean, I don't want to say that stuff is real. I don't want to say that it isn't real. I want to say this is what seems to have happened. Who you know got poked up 14 times in the back, in the neck, in the face, in the head, and they still walking around like ain't nothing happened. And their album is coming out in a couple of days. What? That's...
Now I believe you. Free Tory. That's what I'm saying for the rest of the motherfucking day. This 1000% starting my villain arc if I'm Tory. I'm getting out of prison and starting to rap, and I'm coming for all you motherfuckers that I even had a hint or thought that you had to do with it, oh yeah, you catching this motherfucking diss. Watch this shit. Bro was releasing shit from prison. That's when he get out. Uh-oh. Some of y'all better pack your shit up and leave the country, because niggas try to set my boy up for murder.
Who don't want to hear this guy's prison album? I'm just saying. I remember Tory Lanez. I didn't really like him that much, but then somebody said, you like this song? I was like, oh yeah, that's my joint. He's like, word, no doubt. What about this song? You like that? I seen you dancing to that. You be playing it in the car when you like rolling up. You be playing like, yeah. Tory Lanez wrote those. I said, he wrote them? He wrote it. He's a ghostwriter. I said, I didn't know that. He wrote the hook. Word? But he be rapping. Yeah, he's singing on that. He said, that's him singing. I said, get out of Dodge. Really? Wow, I guess I do like this guy. Think of all of that. Think of all of this injustice. Who's not gonna get that guy's album? I'm not saying to get it. I'm saying just the intrigue of, yeah, let me hear what you talking about. Let me hear your side of the story, Tory.
And y'all don't even know this. But the real reason why Rock Nation on DDG ass is because Rock Nation was trying to sign DDG for a couple M's, but he refused to do the shit.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop. I'm not trying to talk so much. My guy Tanner by the Sea just said, what he said? He said, you never get to go independent, dude. As soon as you sign, it's for life. Now, I also told y'all, I believe, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. 100% I want to be wrong. But it seems like this YouTube thing is the new Hollywood. You can make M's on your own. You don't need the gatekeeper. You don't need a person like Diddy to let you come into their studio because they've got all of this high quality. Dude, this is a studio. Y'all know that, right? You know this is a recording studio. This is a television studio. It's also a portal into another dimension. Also, it's also a portal. Could be. That's, left field. And since you can make M's on your own, how many of us remember networks back in the days? A network is just a company that comes along and says, let me get part of your ad revenue from YouTube. Let me get part of your YouTube money. And in turn, they promise you, we'll put your videos on different platforms. You'll get a whole new bunch of exposure that you don't have right now. They make you believe this. But really, they don't do any of that. They just take like half of your money or whatever deal you negotiate. I think those networks still exist. And it seems like this is what Rock Nation was trying to do to DDG. And a lot of companies, they do that to a lot of young YouTubers, because I believe YouTube is the new Hollywood. YouTube is definitely the new television. Definitely, YouTube beat everybody in streaming. Every streaming service you should see the graph. Like, it's to stick your arm out, right? That's how long the graph is, YouTube, and then scratch your underarm right here. That's how big the next closest person was to YouTube on the graph. YouTube was as long as your arm is. The next closest person to YouTube, as far as viewers, was somebody down here scratching their arm right here. That was the next closest person. So, if you making all of that money with all that influence, these people are gonna try to come and get at you to get a piece of your money, maybe get all your money, maybe have you sign over all of your rights to them. Now you're just, in essence, a performing monkey. That could be what's going on. I'm not saying it definitely is, but DDG got a lot of influence. He had a lot of people. It's not just about his money. It's a lot of people will go and buy products because DDG says so, or not buy products just because DDG says so. I saw Deshae Frost. He told his followers to report a dude, and that dude's whole channel almost got taken down. That's a real story. I forget the guy's name. Young dude with glass. If y'all know who I'm talking about, he came up with the term Deshae Freaky Frost. Whoever that kid is, Jamarius, I don't know what his name is. If y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about, leave it in the comments or leave it in the chat. That's a lot of influence. Some of us, we don't even got that kind of influence in our house. You know how many times I gotta tell my daughter to wash the dishes? Golly.
So now they doing this allegation bullshit to try to get this nigga DDG caught up. The same way they did Tory Lanez, gang. I swear to God, they doing the same shit. All this shit was a trap, bro. Haley was waiting for this nigga to fuck up, or, you feel me, to fully move on. She see this nigga making M's independently. He signed to a record label, but he's still making his own money, his own streams, his own everything, own revenue, doing hit-a-thons, bro. Rock Nation mad because they was trying to sign a nigga, but he refused it, gang. So it's making them mad, and they doing this whole shit to get him thrown off. That's what I'm saying, bro. He should not even try to fight this shit at all, gang. He just gotta, if she want full custody, let him have it. Let her have it. It is what it is, bro. Because ain't no beating this shit, bro. Rock Nation come, they come. Bro, look at Tory Lanez. Look at Chris Brown, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They see this nigga independent. He making too much money. He having too much motion. They coming for him.
Well, so allegedly it seems like Kelsey actually was the one who popped Megan Thee Stallion in her foot. Don't scroll, you heard me correctly. So Kelsey's old bodyguard finally came forward and stated that during a phone call conversation, Kelsey admitted that she was the one who popped Megan. That Tory Lanez never touched the firearm. In fact, he tried to stop her from continuing to bang at Hey guys, remember, the original witness has stated at first that he seen those two women fighting down the street. Then the guys broke it up. One of the women went to the car, and that's when shots were getting fired from the car. Kelsey banged the firearm 3 times at Meg. When the firearm fell to the floor, it went off twice by itself. Also, if you guys remember, when they were testing for DNA on the firearm, there was DNA on the firearm. They could not figure out who it was because it wasn't Tory's. Well, they never tested Kelsey for DNA, and she has immunity. So there's that. Tory Lanez's lawyers came out and stated that the guy said the only reason he came out about this was because he wasn't on the NDA, and it was weighing on his conscience. Probably because he's seen Tory Lanez get 14 times, you feel me? Which is crazy. Well, they're still making the Stallion fans defending Megan, saying that, hey, this is Tory Lanez's fault. He should have snitched on Kelsey. He shouldn't have stayed quiet. Others are saying that.
Well, I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that part. I was saying, if you're gonna mess with 2 women, Tory, they should know about one another, and not in this aggressively. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be doing what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Nah, dude. You know, it's really up to us as men to be smooth, and those of us men who don't have millions, we already learned to do that. We're either learning, we learned, we're figuring out, we got some older uncle, cousin, somebody. Like, all of these YouTube videos didn't exist when I was in my teens and 20s, where you could just Google how you talk to a girl. What do I need to do to be smooth? What do I not need to do in order to scare the chick away? You had to just figure it out, or have someone, you know, kind of take you under their wing. YouTube is the wing now. The tutorial takes you under its wing and tells you what to do. But Tory, man, I give international people a lot of credit. I always say that they're very smart. Almost they're more smarter than Americans, but because they have to, there's not a lot of aid and help in these countries overseas. We got a lot of help from the government and other outside forces and taxpayers' monies and people's big hearts, their bleeding hearts. They just want to help people. In other countries, you're not getting that. It's not, if you're not getting it at all, it's not as much. So Tory Lanez, you know better, bro. You're an international person. Is it because you're too close to America that you don't know better? Something is going on. You talking to 2 women, in my opinion, they should know, and not on no aggressive, you just gonna deal with it, bitch. It's, nah, you know better. You don't gotta sneak around. You got cash, bro. What you sneaking around for? That's the part that's his fault, and he should have known. Not that he should have told. I'm not gonna get into that part. You should have known better as a man, bro. You're making men look bad.
They want Megan to do the same amount of time that Tory did for lying on him. Regardless, what do you guys think about this? I'm just reporting what I'm reading.
This is his bitch, right? Right? It only take 2 seconds for you to search up Disney Exposed. She's a melanated goddess too. They love the melanated goddesses in Disney. All you gotta do is pull up TikTok, search TikTok Disney Exposed, see what happened. How many celebrities from Disney has came out speaking on what the fuck has happened with. But one of the number one things I did notice, it was literally earlier this year, it was a Disney star who's black, a melanated goddess who's black, who came out.
She's actually good looking. So man, listen. Here's the thing that it doesn't bother me, but I just be like, damn, these Hollywood elites, they get the cream of the crop of pretty women of all races. They get the cream of the crop of them girls. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me just bring it back a little bit, because this dude, Soluminati, I just recently found out about this guy a little while ago, but he be dropping some knowledge, man.
Exposing everything. Who came out? It's one of the number one things I did notice. It was literally earlier this year. It was a Disney star who's black, a melanated goddess who's black, who came out exposing everything. I think her name was China DDG, doodoo garbage. My nigga, that's not your girl. You borrowing her. Why you won't tell everybody what happened in those private lodges? What do your girl go on? What happens behind the scenes with these pedophilia ass, old ass men with glasses who like kids?
So guys, look at this. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau orders repeat offender portfolio recovery associates to pay more than $24 million for continued illegal debt practices and consumer reporting violations.
Don't scroll past this. I'm not going to say my piece until after this. Listen to this whole thing. It's only like another 30 seconds.
But here's the kicker. Debt collection giant filed lawsuits even when it lacked documentation. So here's the key. When you are being pursued by a third-party debt collector, please answer the phone.
And when these people come and knock on your door and say, hey, you're being sued by these people, you must have owed them money, they're suing you. That's a lie. Let's say your credit card company, they already sold your debt. They already sold it. So now you don't have a contract with these people who are suing you, and usually it's this third-party debt collector. And this guy is saying that the debt collection agencies will file a lawsuit even if they lack the documentation. The documentation is whatever you signed with your bank in the beginning when you got the credit card. Loan is different. The credit card, it's too many documented predatory practices that have been exposed that these people are saying, yeah, we was doing it. We didn't expect them to pay it back. That's why we gave them so much money. We thought they was going to max out. Yeah, so it's been exposed. So when these people come to your door, the guy with the badge looking like police, but he like overweight or something like that, and he say, yeah, he's just giving you the papers. Now it's official. Now if you don't answer the papers, what the paper says, you don't write them a letter and all that type of stuff. And there's tutorials, like I was talking about earlier, there's tutorials online that show you how to go about that. I don't know them. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just saying this is stuff that's out in YouTube. You can just look at and figure it out. I don't mean as a diss. I'm saying we're men. Men, you should know better. A girl could be like, I don't know how to do it. Get a man, bitch, and he'll figure it out. Or hire a lawyer. The people who come to your door, they're coming to you on behalf of the court. The court says you better come and answer this. You got 20 days to answer this. You should answer it, because the people who are suing you, this third-party debt collection agency, you don't got no contract with them. So you have to make them produce the evidence. Well, you have to make them produce a document that you signed with them. They don't have that because your credit card company didn't sell that to them a lot of times. So they just have the piece of paper that says you owe X amount of thousands. Now we have this paper, so it's like now you owe us X amount of thousands. And you can say, no, I don't, but it doesn't matter talking to them. Now you got to talk to the courts. That's what this is about. That's important to us because they like to come and hit us people who don't really have millions and do stuff to make us poorer.
Please respond to the letters. All you have to do is make them validate the debt. Like it said, the debt collection giant filed lawsuits even when it lacked documentation.
So they don't even have proof. That's like your wife saying, I know you slept with this girl, and you'd be like, I did? You know I did it? Okay. Produce the bitch. Producer. What day was it? What time of the day was it? Do you need me to get the records from my phone company so they can say they can ping my phone? You know I can have that, right? I can get that. And you know what I'm saying?
So you've got to ask them to make sure they send you something that shows explicitly that you owe the debt. If they can't, they got to take it off. Hopefully that helps. Follow me for more tips.
Their hope is that you won't go to the courts. You won't answer the phone calls. You won't. I'm talking about when the people come to your house and say, you know, we're giving you a summons. That's what it's called. They're hoping that you don't answer it, because then if you don't go to court, the judge will just rule in their favor. So now they just got a few thousand off you when you could have easily, you know, did the work. I'm not even saying you got to hire a lawyer. I'm saying, again, there's these tutorials that'll show you how to do it. I'm talking from experience for the brothers who want to say you're projecting. Yes, dummy, that happened to me. I went to the Library of Alexandria, the modern day Library of Alexandria, which is YouTube. I looked at 4 or 5 different videos from like 4 or 5 different creators. The stuff that they said that lined up, some of them ain't know what the hell I was talking about, but the stuff that lined up, I did that and won the case. And that bank ain't bothered me no more. And it's totally legal. So it ain't like I'm scamming you or no nothing like that. Like my guy Tanner by the Sea says, if your debt is like, he said if it's $500, they'll buy it for like $100. But the insurance already paid back. The insurance already paid back the $500. So they already got the money. So this other third party, no, you don't owe them anything. It's the American way.
Now Dallas has gotten the first pick in the draft. I told y'all Dallas is going to be scary next season. I told y'all Dallas is good. We not worried about that trade, bro. They might get Cooper Flag. They might get Derek Queen, East Bailey. You never know. They can pick their poison now. Dallas is good, bro. So even though they lost Luka Doncic, they got somebody else for the future coming in. And they already got AD and Kyrie, seasoned championship veterans. Most skilled at their position, basically, in the league right now. AD and Kyrie. So then if you get Cooper Flag, which I think Cooper Flag, that'll be great for him anyway, because he has more to develop to his game, bro. He'll fit right in. So you got the Duke connection. Bro, they won the trade. Think about this. They low-key won the trade for the short term and for the long term. Think about it. Dallas, this means that Dallas won the trade for the short term and for the long term.
And I don't even think that Kyrie or Anthony Davis was injured. I think those guys had to go down. For one, the NBA has become a betting association. That's for one. So they had to have public opinion. Now we feel sorry for Dallas. They lost Luka. Anthony Davis is injured. Kyrie is injured. You might think this is a basketball conversation, but this all goes along with entertainment, because basketball is entertainment. It's more of a distraction. It's keeping us off what's really happening. You know what's really happening? I was going to save it for the end, but I forgot this clip was in here. What about the Epstein files? All of these people that was going to Epstein Island. Where's that? I thought people was going to release that. I thought the leader of the Free Nation was going to release that. He said, I don't know him, but I know the person I'm running against. They know him very well. So why we can't see? Now that's crime. That's a true crime case. This Cassie thing, that's a true crime case. But what happened to that? It's all entertainment. Or maybe it's not. Maybe they are going to tell us one day. Maybe. And it's just a dementia that maybe they told us already and I just don't remember it. But you leave it in the chat and tell me, you leave it in the comments, you tell me, do you remember hearing anything about Epstein and this list and all that stuff? That, okay, somebody said that somebody in my chat just said somebody's on it. I ain't gonna say the name, because this nigga is low-key turning into Voldemort. You can't say his name, but, it's just interesting that they totally stopped talking about that and they were supposed to release that list this year. It's May, bro. You've been there since February, right? You okay.
Ashanti is the biggest fake out in R&B music history. Ashanti was a cheat code. That's all she was. And by the way, I'm not saying Ashanti a whack or anything. I'm just saying Irv cheated the game for her. Let me tell you what I mean. Look at everybody from that era. They could dance. They could sing their ass up. You could say, I don't like Beyonce's song, but you can't say when she gets on stage, she doesn't kill it. You could say, I don't like Chris Brown and Usher music, but they get on stage and kill it. Ashanti doesn't kill it on stage. She just sings. She's a pretty girl that sings great songs, but the songs are all remixed. Her first single is what? A Biggie remix. She comes with baby, baby, baby. And then guess what that was? That was Scarface. Mary, Mary. When she did the one on Rain on Me. That's the Jay-Z Can I Live beat. Can I Live? Ashanti first in 5 or 6 singles was all remakes of Men records.
Don't forget to comment, like, and follow Moonrise online.
So Ashanti was a cheat code. I don't think I really ever looked at it like that. But sex sells. All you need is like a good-looking, thick woman, and you're good. So did he cheat, or did he just follow the blueprint? I don't know.
Fine.
Guess what I just heard? Court did break for a very specific reason. They are about to play the freak off videos, and guess who's sitting front row? Diddy's sons are in the courtroom this morning. His daughter's nowhere in sight. He even whispered to his mom, I love you. Baby, the tension is thick.
Why, lady, why are you whispering? Are you in the courtroom right now? That's
The break, the judge gave the green light for the jury to see the actual video evidence at the center of this whole case. Y'all remember Daniel Phillip, the male escort? He said some of the encounters lasted up to 10 hours. And sometimes Cassie would go back into the room with Diddy, and then they'd go
I'm not asleep. I'm just resting my eyes.
back in again. The jury just walked back in. The screens are up and the videos are queued. Do you think Diddy's sons know what's about to be shown in this court?
Oh, you're at the courthouse. Oh, okay, okay, all right. My bad. Your face is weird looking, so I'm thinking you're just trying to make content. But continue though.
Or are they about to find out with the rest of us? Drop your theories in the comments.
Suge, do you think he's going to be all right because someone's going to tamper with the jury? Is that what you're trying to say?
He got enough influence, and I'm quite sure, don't seem like the prosecution is that bad against him. Don't seem like I think he got some favors with the government. I think they're going to show him a little leeway. It might not seem like it when it's all said and done, but I don't think he has nothing to worry about. I don't think he's worried because he's going to be federal. And if he gets convicted, Trump's going to pardon him. So what's the worry?
You think the President of the United States would pardon Sean Combs for sex trafficking?
Shit, he pardoned Michael Harris, who eventually killed a Jewish teenager, or had him killed. So they don't care about that. It's all about, what's in it for the long run and what the bucks say and what the power of the people want.
So it's about to be a lot of angry people in the United States. So they have a new Republican bill that's going to ban pornography in the United States. Oh, you don't believe me? Look at this shit. You see it right here. So Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah, put in that paperwork to get pornography banned. And as you can see in this bill,
And this is what I wanted to ultimately. There's a lot of stuff been going on, y'all. I've been going through depression, but I'm trying to work my way through it. All right. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just saying, but and the dementia I got it because I'm old. It's had a lot of sugar as a kid. Anyway, this is what I ultimately wanted to talk about.
right here, everything that I'm saying is true. If you want to screenshot it, screenshot it. So basically, they want to criminalize pornography in America. And what does that mean for you? So for the people who indulge in pornography, this means if you're promoting, producing, or hosting any type of pornographic material, you can be locked up.
Now go back to what Boosie said at the beginning of the video. They're trying to turn you flying a girl out, something that's consensual. You flying her out. And you giving her a little, because guys do. You give her a little cash, whatever. She's like, I might need something while I'm flying back. You give her a little money. That could be considered sex trafficking. And they're bringing back the Mann Act of 1910. How many of us know what the Mann Act was? The Mann Act was a law that was invented for that boxer. Who knows the name of that boxer, all you sports heads in here? That black boxer that was knocking people out. They was fighting like 30 rounds and he was killing these bulls. Who's that boxer? Is his name Jack Johnson? I forget what his name is, but Mike Tyson loves that dude. He stays talk. Him and Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson talks about both of those dudes heavy like that. I can't remember his name, but because a lot of white women liked him. But the dude was famous. Why wouldn't they like it? It was 1910. I mean, like, $40 was like $400 back then. And they was about to go through the Depression. You know what I'm saying? So Jack Johnson was his name, right? They created that law for him so they could lock him up. I think what they want to do was take away his belt. And the icing on the cake was we also get to lock you up. I think he might have had a good lawyer and he got out or whatever like that, but still he didn't have his belt. I think I might do a deep dive on that. You guys let me know. But that law from over 100 years ago, I don't think they have been bothering people with it just when they want to. I think they did the same thing to Chuck Berry. They hit him with that. Who's Chuck Berry? The father of rock and roll. A lot of people say riding along in my automobile. Johnny B. Good in Back to the Future. When Marty was playing a rock and roll song, that's Chuck Berry's song who made that. He's considered the guy that invented rock and roll by a lot of people, a lot of guitarists. Anyway, they hit him with the Mann Act. And now they're trying to hit dudes with that act. Juxtapose that, what I just said, onto this thing of people are trying to make pornography somehow criminal. Juxtapose that, and they're going for it. If they want to do it, they're going to be successful at doing it, man. I'm not saying I'm voting for it, but they are acting like I don't know what they're acting like they're doing. Juxtapose that onto this P. Diddy and Cassie trial. Remember when I said you don't choose the kind of sex you like, it chooses you. Move forward 5 to 10 years. Is this what gonna be a part of makes 7 women take hold of 1 man? Because women are realizing men are ignoring them. Or are they trying to get rid of pornography? Because I was just telling my wife this, that men are ignoring women because you can just get your fix online. I don't got to talk to this girl and get turned down. I can just turn on Pornhub and do what I want to do right on there. You know, get my little and then go to the gym. I'm good. You know, rub one out and then go to sleep. I said, so these men are not doing nothing exclusive like that. We all had a meeting united and said, yeah, no more women. Nah, these dudes is like, man, I got it on my phone. I'm good. Are the powers that be trying to get rid of pornography to force you men? To force you to have to deal with the bop house? That's probably not what it is. This is for the betterment of mankind, probably. Let's continue.
Basically saying that pornography companies have infected our society. And pornography is taking control of people's minds. They also want to enforce this bill because they feel that children have too much access to pornography. My question to you is, what do you think? Do you think it'll benefit America, or do you think you should be able to watch what you want to watch? Let me know in the comments. I'm out.
That's a ghost.
Oh, yeah. on top of all of that stuff that you saw, we still gotta deal with ghosts or jinns or demons. They're all the same. Well, they're not ghosts. They're not spirits, I believe. I believe they're these demons pretending that they're ghosts, but they really just demons lying to you. Do you know what I'm saying? And we still gotta deal with that. So let's throw a little demon video in there right quick.
Hey, come in to see me. Watch this. Just watch this. Look at the bottom of the screen. The yellow gold mark. That's crazy. He's just standing right there now. Just watch. That ain't no light. That ain't no nothing. That's a light. Just watch what it do. He's just standing there. The crazy thing is, it looks like a person. Like how it just moved just now.
I legit thought he paused the video.
Let's watch. When it moves is when I looked at it and thought about recording it. And then it just walked away. It's crazy.
Oh, somebody said, what is it, a shadow? Could it be a bug on the lens?
It's like, that was wild.
Hold up. Human remains found just a block away from Taylor Swift's secluded mansion, literally out in the middle of nowhere in Rhode Island? Really? Be right back.
Human remains were found right down the road from Taylor Swift's Rhode Island mansion as fears that a New England serial killer is on the loose.
This story is so eerie and wild and honestly shocking. Human remains were found in the Watch Hill neighborhood of Westerly, which is where Taylor Swift's Rhode Island mansion is located. Police were called to respond to reports of what someone suspected were human remains. They arrived and discovered what appeared to be a human leg bone.
And only the leg bone was left? What happened to the rest of the body? Again, like a block from her house, at the peak of Rhode Island, secluded in the middle of nowhere. This happened to be right by Taylor's house. I'm sure all the stuff in the background has nothing at all to do with this story. Really doesn't, just, you know. But let me ask a reasonable question. Who's all going down here besides Taylor? Wouldn't it be like off limits? And I'm just saying, this kind of looks like that kind of house. I wonder who the culprit could be. Completely irrelevant. Have y'all seen where she was wearing a snake and doing a photo shoot making fun of the forbidden fruit? Or right here where she was dressed up as a high priest? I'm not gonna say what kind of high priest, but I'll tell you it does have something to do with the background. And completely irrelevant, just a question. I wonder what kind of practices would cause someone to get possessed. Pretty crazy stuff though. Let me know what you think below.
I was in the courtroom as Cassie was testifying.
Why didn't Cassie leave? And when are we getting this nigga out of prison? These are the only two questions that I demand be answered. Why didn't Cassie leave? And when are we getting this nigga out of prison?
Okay. Too many angry men. Understand, it's hard to leave when you're blackmailed. I think blackmail is not the right word. What's that word called when someone they give you money to make you be quiet, like hush money? You know, Diddy was like spending like $500,000. He might smack allegedly. I'm kind of like maybe adding to this is the part that I'm not adding to the story. Diddy would spend $500,000 on her in a day. Okay. Now let's go to the beginning of the day. Cassie did something to make him mad, and your woman is gonna do stuff to make you mad. You can't slap her. P. Diddy can slap her and then say, "I'm sorry. Let's go to Paris, and I'll spend $500,000 on you." I just can't all the way say Cassie is A, B, left or right. I can't. Because, I mean, can we just be honest? Right? Like, you know, your wife never slapped you and then said, okay, here's a plate of greens. You stayed, right? That's not 500,000. She just made you some potato salad, and it was all good, right? So let's like kind of not, you know, judge a little bit.
Not saying Diddy wasn't a monster. Anybody, and I mean anybody caught with
1,000 bottles of baby oil
needs to be locked up, and his sons can fight me about it. I didn't even know the nigga had daughters. You got daughters acting like this, nigga? And all the men been knew Megan was lying. When are we getting this nigga out of prison?
Y'all, TikTok is taking down all videos of females twerking in little shorts. If you on the internet and you shaking that ass on here with little shorts on, or you one of them females who's sitting on live with your legs gapped open, showing your toes and in between your legs, they say you are promoting pornography.
I just had a thought. This is what I was trying to get to. This is what I think Kamala Harris would have did if she was in office, and she would have did it sooner. I think she would have did everything that the current president did. She just would have did this stuff that they're doing now. She would have did that at her first part in office. Because the women aren't getting enough money from men who have decided I can just rub one out and then I don't even got to talk to a girl. So they're not getting rid, allegedly, maybe, possibly, it could be in this parallel universe, they're getting rid of pornography so that you're forced to go out and deal with a woman who's really just a digital street worker anyway, but now you have to pay her. People like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, they've made it so just blase, just every day is not even a thing to say, oh, if you want to know my name, pay me for it. Now the government also, now they have to have new tax guidelines for these women, because these women are entrepreneurs. She's an independent business and she got to pay her taxes, right? So both of these candidates were ultimately going to do the same thing. I think we're seeing that now. I mean, a lot of us already kind of suspected that, but like now we're like kind of really seeing it. I think if they go ahead and try to ban pornography and they try to like stop women from wearing these tiny shorts and stuff online, to me, it seems like it is because men have been ignoring women. Men have not been giving their money to women, not the men that women want. And there's too many choices for men when it comes to online to just see a picture of a woman to where you ladies will never get money. Only the people who own the pornography sites are making the most money, unless you just get into sex work and you make your money that way. But I feel like I've heard tell that the girls don't even make that much money. Only the high level girls make money. I don't know. It's just strange timing, and they don't do nothing to help us as human beings. So what's the angle? How could this be to help mankind or womankind? They're not trying to help women either. I don't know. You guys leave it in the comments and tell me.
That they are about to start taking down all those videos. So everybody who's been going viral, sitting on lives, oh yeah, this is not Pornhub, it has to go. They taking it down. And you know what? I agree. I agree that some of y'all don't have enough home training and no respect for y'all self, that y'all sit up here, don't even take no shower. Just get up, got your little booty shorts on that you go to sleep in, and start twerking. Oh, it's over with. They finna take all those videos down. So I just want to say big ups to TikTok, man. And I appreciate y'all for doing this, because I'm so tired of seeing these thirsty females on here shaking ass for a little bit of views and gifts on live. Thank you.
Is Tory Lanez curse, or is Rock Nation more powerful than we think? Chris Brown posted free Tory yesterday, and now he's under arrest for an assault in 2023. DDG made a song with Tory Lanez in December 2024 called Handling Business. Months later, DDG is now accused of assaulting Halle Bailey and breaking into her home and sending her pictures. It gets worse. About a month prior, Jay-Z sent DDG a $300,000 bottle of alcohol. He did not read anyone the note. He actually looked incredibly scared and tried to play it off. What does Jay-Z have to do with this? Halle Bailey is signed to Beyonce, and Meg Thee Stallion is signed to Jay-Z. Aiden Ross immediately said free Tory and has some comments to say about Meg Thee Stallion calling her a liar, and he instantly loses brand deals and then receives a cease and desist letter to not mention her anymore. Then DDG's artist gets a bottle of Hennessy from Jay-Z and a threatening note after he exposed the reason DDG and Halle broke up was because of Brent Faiyaz. Only he read his letter saying to stay in your jurisdiction. Do you know who else had freed Tory Lanez and ended up with a plethora of allegations? P. Diddy. I am by no means defending any of these people. Is Jay-Z not to be messed with? Are these celebrities just drunk with power? Don't forget the baby got canceled too when he spoke on Megan Thee Stallion. I also want to say that before Tory spoke ill of Meg Thee Stallion, he was exposing the music industry and made a vow to tell everybody how it really operated. The same way 6ix9ine did and got removed off of Apple. The connections are interesting to say the least. And anybody who is a victim of any form of attack or undergoing any scrutiny, I hope they are now well and I hope they receive justice. Leave what you think in the comments below.
So I'm about 1,000% sure that Puffy was fucking Meek Mills. That video we heard, that was Meek. I'm 1,000% sure that Puffy's been fucking Meek. That was Rick Ross' gift to Puffy. When he signed Meek, Puffy got them cheeks off the rip. He had first dibs at them cheeks. There's probably a couple more rappers than told Meek Mill ass out the frame too. But Puffy was the first one to have Meek. He been fucking Meek.
Soul Alpha just said anybody who tries to tell about the industry gets taken down one way or another. That's why I'm not telling you nothing about the industry, because I don't know. I'm just playing what these TikTokers have said, and I'm adding my value by making my facial expressions and saying, ooh, if you know, you know. And saying a little stuff here and there. But, you know, that's YouTube guidelines. You can't just sit here and just watch it and don't say nothing. And you got to add a little bit more value. I know, because I looked at their guidelines and YouTube said you got to talk. You got to say some stuff. So, you know. Unless you just want me to just put videos up here and I don't make no money off of it. But, like, why would you go to work if they're not paying you? Would you? Of course you wouldn't do that. Yes, it's fun to entertain you. Yes, it's fun to be entertained. And work is not entertaining. I guess that's why they tell us, work doing what you like. So that way, when you go to work, it's not even like you're at work. If you don't like burgers, don't go work at McDonald's. Just don't do it. Word of advice, YN. This is great. You like playing video games. Stream. That's the problem. People like watching people play video games, and they like they just like that. And they'll send you gifts in the chat and money and super thanks, and then you start making all this money. Then you got these gatekeepers who's like, yo, I want a piece of that money. Yo, as a matter of fact, I want all of that money. Keep streaming. Be my dancing monkey. And if you do it, they'll let you keep doing it until they get tired of you. If you don't do it, well, you see what's happening to these dudes. Psych, that's not what happens, right? That's the dementia. I'm 50 years old. It's dementia kicking in. My bad. Let's just keep watching the video.
He had them braids. I'm convinced. Because how is he that comfortable sitting in Puffy's pool, shirt off, knowing all the gay rumors that's been going on? Meek definitely been taking back shots from Puffy. I'm 100% certain. This is not something that I'm guessing. I told y'all this a year and a half ago and y'all didn't believe me. Now it's fact.
While the whole world is speaking about Diddy, Cassie, Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, do you know what's going on at CERN right now? Anytime the media wants you to focus on something, you should shift your focus to something else. If they say look left, look right. They say look up, you should look down. Or how about we don't look at none of this shit? These stories right here, nonsense, bullshit. It means nothing to any of us. But I get it, it's gossip and people need something to speak about. Well, I'm about to give you something to speak about. You ready for this? Did you know that these scientists at CERN is trying to open up a portal? I mean, they're not trying, they already did it. But since so many people are worried about Diddy and Cassie, Tory Lanez and the trade wars, you're not understanding what's taking place. This portal will release the Antichrist or the fallen angels. We have something called the firmament that's over top of this planet. Nothing can leave, nothing can come in. They've been working for years trying to crack the firmament. It can't be done. So you know what they did? They created CERN to open up a portal to bring in the Antichrist. But stories like this is important, right? The algorithm is pushing all of your attention to shit that don't matter. How many people remember when they was putting portals in New York City, Philadelphia? Those portals really mean something, but so many people said they are not portals. It's just for people to FaceTime. Well, I have a cell phone. If I want to FaceTime you, I'll just FaceTime you. I would not put a big ass portal in the middle of a city. Think about it. The people that control this matrix, they are setting up a big ass stage and you don't really want to know what's coming out of this portal. It already came out. But never mind. Just continue with this and see how far it gets you.
We have a lot to talk about. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. We'll come right back to this. Is it possible that all the stuff happening on the earth right now is just demonic? I know you're thinking, no, mankind does this and they do that. Don't give man too much power. Don't you know that demons work through them? We'll go into the evils of what happened to St. Louis in just 1 minute. But do you know in Brazil, the fire is coming from up under the ground? And I'm sure you're thinking it's like, you know, gas or whatever stuff. But Brazil's been on fire for a while now. And this whole field is burning from up under it. And for these farmers, this is not a normal occurrence in their area. It's a once in a lifetime, everything's burning from under the ground. And that made me start thinking of the spiritual severity of everything happening on the earth. Let me show you something. Is it really random and not spiritual that St. Louis was just destroyed by a storm today? The same St. Louis that has a straight up portal just hanging out there for everyone in the city to see. Is it possible so many of the storms and disaster we're facing is our fault for the evil that we are allowing? It really is food for thought because I don't ever remember giant baseball-sized hail coming through people's windows. Not St. Louis, but still just happened today. What you saw earlier is a radar and all the pulses on the radar in Florida. And the craziest part about this is we cannot access the level 2 pulse log without a FOIA request. I wonder why it would need to be hidden. And completely irrelevant and not related at all. My head's hurting pretty bad today.
Okay, this is a little... Because I've been doing these late night live streams because I can't sleep. But I'm not an insomniac. And my head be hurting. And I'm eating differently and stuff and, going to the gym way more. Trying to get back into a consistent rhythm. I should start to feel better. But... And then I'm not going through a depression kind of a person. Man, is the CIA broadcasting thoughts into my brain? I don't know. But perhaps we'll come back again. You guys leave it in the comments if you want me to do another video like this. Or if you want to just do something different. It could be that it's allergy season. But I don't got allergies though. I don't know. Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No Diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, join. Thank you.